Hi everybody, and thanks for tuning in to this week's educational watch party with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. Today, we're focusing on the Concerto, which is a concert work for one or more soloists and an orchestra. The concerto genre has been around for hundreds of years, and today we're going to hear pieces from three different musical eras: the classical period, the romantic period, and the present day. All three pieces sound completely different, but if you listen carefully, you're able to pick out some important similarities. One similarity is the methods our composers use to develop their musical themes. All concerti use three main methods to develop themes with both the soloist and the orchestra. They are alternation, competition, and combination. But how do those methods work? To picture it, think about two friends playing baseball together. First, they start off playing catch, just tossing a ball back and forth to each other. This is just like how alternation works in a concerto. The soloist and the orchestra toss a theme back and forth to each other. Next, picture our friends having a pitching contest. They want to see who can throw the ball better. One throws a curveball, the other throws a fastball. These pitches look completely different. This is just like competition in a concerto, where the soloist and the orchestra work against each other, developing their own separate themes. Finally, picture our friends grabbing a baseball bat. One pitches while the other one swings. They want to see how far they can hit the baseball, so both have to do their job very well and work together. This is just like combination in a concerto, where the soloist and the orchestra work together to develop one theme. You'll hear all three of these methods in all of our pieces today. Now, let's start off with our first piece, the third movement of Franz Joseph Haydn's Concerto for Two Horns in E-flat major. See if you can pick out examples of alternation, competition, and combination.
Hi, my name is Jackson. I'm 13 years old and I play violin in DSO's Civic Youth Program. Last year, I was given the opportunity to play a violin solo with CYE's Philharmonic Orchestra as a result of winning their junior division concerto competition. I wanted to share a few thoughts and ideas that helped me prepare for the performance. The piece I chose to play was Chardish by Monti. It was a piece I had learned the previous year, so I knew it pretty well, which allowed me to focus on polishing the piece rather than learning a new one at the time. Being extremely familiar with the piece allowed me to be more comfortable with playing it on stage. Next is preparation. The first step to learning any piece is to learn what is simply written on the page, for example, the notes and dynamics. The next steps are really what bring a piece to life, developing the characters. My teachers have always encouraged me to divide a piece into sections by character, so you can portray different sounds and feelings. For example, some characters in Chardish are more serious or sad, and some are very playful. Sometimes I even color my sheet music to remind me of different characters and moods. Next is listening to the piece. For me, listening is a big part of practicing. Listening to a piece several times a day has always helped me find the characters of a piece. It's also helpful to listen to several versions of the same piece to get a feel for the character and to get an idea of what sounds best to you. Also, I found that watching and listening to other people play helps me become a part of the story that the music is trying to tell. All music has a story, but it is up to you to tell it. What was it like to play as a soloist with an orchestra? I had played Chardish with piano, but the CYE Concerto competition gave me the opportunity to play it with a full orchestra. Playing with a full orchestra was an amazing experience because you're physically surrounded by the music. With so many different instruments' voices, it's a great feeling hearing all the separate parts come together as one piece. Another great privilege in performing was the experience of playing it on Detroit's Orchestra Hall stage. Their hall has fantastic acoustics, and being able to hear that sound on stage during the audition and then for the concert was truly amazing. The sound is so rich and full, definitely different from a classroom or a standard stage. Overall, it was a lot of preparation and practice time, but it was well worth all the effort.
I hope everybody's having a great time learning about the concerto so far today. The bad news is we're on our last piece of the program. The good news is it's from an awesome piece. It's an excerpt from the final movement of Gabriel Prokofiev's Saxophone Concerto. This piece is pretty new. It premiered in 2016. So you're going to hear a lot of things that are very different from the previous two pieces we've heard. For example, the soloist is an alto saxophone. That's not an instrument you see very often in an orchestra. However, you're still going to hear the same methods that we've heard in the previous two pieces to develop themes: alternation, competition, and combination. Also, just like our previous soloists, our soloist here, guest artist Branford Marsalis, has to play some crazily hard passages. Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope you enjoy our finale with Branford Marsalis and your Detroit Symphony Orchestra.